finished the 48th Pendleton Spring Jubilee. What's kind of a recap on how well that went?
Went really well. Saturday was a beautiful day. Had a really huge crowd of people showing up on Saturday. Sunday we had to pack it in a little early because the rain moved in, but still it was a good day. Weather was, good both days really, but really beautiful on Saturday. Maybe a little warm if anything, but tons of people came in, and I think the vendors did really well. So I think it was a good day.
Got any concert on the Village Green again this year? Or gonna?
Yeah, we'll be doing that. We're planning a lot of different things, and I think you're going to see a lot of new events that we didn't have before. So we're coming with all of that.
Doing some improvements downtown. Kind of give me an update on all the improvements for downtown that have been going on.
One thing, we've been working on the sidewalks. We've got a lot of positive comments here lately. We're just trying to get the sidewalks back in proper condition. It's simple things, really just like getting them edged out really good and cleaned and things like that and repaired. So we've been working on a lot of that. And as far as the downtown goes, we're looking at improving the parking. We have put in a lot of wayfinding signs and things just to identify where the parking is. We have a lot of parking, but a lot of folks don't know where it is, so we're trying to fix that. And of course, as you may or may not know, we have a brand new, really interactive website that'll allow you to see where the parking spots are on there too. And I think that's going to be a big plus, because we do have a lot of parking around here that a lot of folks just don't know about. We've got, when people pull in here, it sort of looks like all the parking's on Exchange Street, but it's not. That's just, what your first, I guess, impression would be. But we've got a parking lot right across from us over there. Nobody seems to know where it is, but we've got signage now to identify it. And I think that's going to be a big improvement for people visiting the downtown restaurants and stores and stuff, especially when we're busy, which is about every night. We get covered up down here. So, but that's a good problem to have. We're proud of it. We're happy to have people come in and patronizing our restaurants and our stores and so on. So we're working on that constantly, is to improve that. We want to make sure that the town is very walkable, and we try to improve the connectivity in every direction and walkability. Another thing you're going to see, I think, happening in the future, down Main Street there, of course, where the oil mill used to be, we're working on a small area plan for that, which will include the oil mill property, the Cheney Mill property, all of that is going to tie together. And of course, the Stark Foundation has done a great job over there with the Jenkins house and getting it fixed back up. And we hope to have a walking trail at the Jenkins house that will maybe connect with Green Crescent Trail. We're going to try to make sure that where we can, we're going to make all these connections as much as we can. And we also want to look at walkability for the other side of town out there off 76 too, because that's in Pendleton now too. So you may have seen our road realignment going over there with Westinghouse Road. So we've connected Westinghouse with what was Swaney back over there, and that's going to be a big improvement. It'll help keep a lot of traffic off 76. We're planning a crosswalk there as well, so that allows people to get from one side of 76 to the other. If you live over there, you can walk over to the other side. You could walk all the way downtown if you wanted to. So I think that'll be a big thing as well. West Queen Street revitalization project, yeah, that was a part of a plan that started really back in 2016, and we brought in $1.5 million worth of grant money on it already. And we're moving along with those projects, and we've done a lot of things down there, as you may have noticed. You got a lot of new parking spaces down that direction. Sidewalks have been improved, lighting, all those things. We're trying to improve the walkability of that area and make it more connected with this here as well. And I think that's going to be huge. Pretty soon, hopefully, it won't be long, we'll be able to finish and get everything bidded out on the North Mechanic phase of that, which will be sidewalks, more improvements up here on North Mechanic as well. And we're going to realign, move a road or two over there. That'll make it a little easier to travel around a couple of roads to connect with North Mechanic.
What's the latest on the Keys Barn project?
They're working that now. It's coming along, but probably trying to raise funding for it and that kind of thing. But you may have seen plans. Plans have been out there on social media what it's going to look like. To be kind of a replica of Keys Barn, and hopefully a place where people can gather and have some community events down that way. And it should be really nice.
You mentioned the Shaney Mill site. They're hoping to be open by summer. Have you been out there lately and toured it? Or?
I haven't really toured it, but I've been out there walking around, if you want to call it that. So, but yeah, it's looking great. Coming along with the old mill part looks really good, and they're building the other parts of it, you know, behind there that you may have seen the other buildings going up. But yeah, it's going to be really nice, and you know, maybe that can connect with the Hall Trail, and then we have the Jenkins House, which you know, that's going to be maybe, you know, be an event center out there. Kind of the whole area there, I think, will be a very walkable, enjoyable place to be.
And will there be sidewalks going all the way out to there? Is that part of the plan eventually? Or?
You got Blue Ridge Street over there and all that. You know, there are going to be a lot of improvements made to that, and that's still a little bit in the works. So I can't comment a whole lot on what you're going to see there yet. But it's going to, all that area is going to get improved, and the infrastructure and the road and the whole 9 yards.
And I know y'all, like everybody else, are facing a housing shortage. That'll help some with that too, having those new apartments out there.
Yeah, well, of course, you know, they just can't seem to build enough houses right now. So it'll help some. And, you know, in the downtown area here, we're really want to be careful about what goes downtown and in this area. And we want to make sure we maintain our historical character and that sort of thing. But we want to make it walkable. And I think it'd be really nice for the people living there at Janey that it's in walking distance of the downtown. We got a whole lot of things here for them to do, you know, restaurants and retail, and, you know, you got the green here, all of the stuff we're going to have down that way. We want to connect everything. Of course, we got our TIF district going over there. We're same thing. We're trying to keep it connected. Well, working on the plan still. We're trying to narrow it down. Just trying to, you know, come to a consensus with everybody. We've had a lot of public input on it and council input, so, and the planning commission's looking at it. So we're trying to get to a point where we know what we want and get going on it.
And the folks who are doing the Shaney Mill projects are also going to work with the town on the oil mill property, right?
That's right. That's right. The folks that are doing that, same folks, it's Camden Properties, and they'll be doing the oil mill project too. So again, that's still in the planning stage, so there's no firm plan on it yet. But there's been some plans submitted, so it'll have to continue going through a process to get those completed and you know, come to consensus with everybody on what the people want, what council wants, what the planning commission sees as best, etc. And I think it'll be a great thing when it's all said and done. We want to get something together there that'll make everybody really proud.
I know you got a new green grocer just opened. And is there anything else new open then, or that has opened since the last time we talked?
There's that, and then there is one opening behind you over here on the green. You see this, probably saw that in the windows where it says town. And so we've got another great place to eat coming in there. And of course, they're working on the building over here behind you, which used to be the drugstore when you were growing up here. And we look forward to what's going in there as well.
Do they have any plans? Have they talked to y'all about what they're going to put in there?
Yeah, the last what I've heard, they're working on doing a speakeasy underneath it, and the plan I heard was maybe a restaurant on that main floor. But I don't know if that's really been finalized. I wouldn't say that that's definitely going to happen, all of that. But yeah, that's the direction it was going. Last communication I had with folks that own it. One thing is we have a new community engagement director. Her name's Lindsay Watley. And we're trying to be able to engage the public more and put more focus on our downtown events and just events in general around here. So I think you'll see some changes in that, and you know, probably more of that, and hopefully better quality, because you know, it's been a little much for our staff in there to handle all of that and all the other things that they have to do. So I think that's going to be a good thing. You're going to see more and more emphasis on that side of things.
How about recreation? I know you've talked about the old doghouse for a while and other places. Any movement on that?
We'll be partnering with Tri-County Technical College on it, and we want to do a lot to promote art here in Pendleton, and that'll be part of it. It'll probably end up being what you would call a maker space, and Tri-County Tech will be probably renovating the building, so I think that's ultimately where that'll end up. You know, I think that'll be a really good thing that a lot of people in the community can enjoy. But as far as rec, getting back to that really won't have anything to do with the rec department much. although we are trying to improve rec. The rec department is a separate organization from the town, Pendleton Recreation Association. They're volunteers, great people. They're out there working for free to try to, do the best they can with the rec program. And council has been very generous to help fund them and help work with them. And we're trying to get that, to a point where we can make it a lot better. And it also is there for a lot of other people in the county and not just the citizens here. So we're hoping we can see some additional funding coming in from somewhere at some point. If not from the county directly, maybe a special purpose tax district or something, because there's a lot of participants there are not living in the city of Pendleton. Although we love doing it, we really want to do it, but I'm not sure that going forward we can supply all of the funding for it. Not 100%. We're still having a reasonable amount of growth. It's sort of leveling off somewhat, but the growth does help us from that side of things as far as revenues coming in and allowing us to do things that we couldn't ordinarily do without it. So, we're still looking at taking, I would say, an active approach to annexation where we can, where it makes sense. If it's going in close to us, we generally like to take it in because then we have controls over it. We control what it looks like. And I think we can just make it a whole lot better situation for the people living there as well. And it's good for us, as I say. Every place, even in business, you have a certain amount of front-end cost when you're running your administration and everything. And so you reach a point there of economies of scale where, you can take it on in, doesn't change your upfront cost that much, but you do have to spend some money servicing it. But the revenue coming in from it really makes a difference because if you're familiar with Act 388 in South Carolina, it's really hard to grow revenue by raising tax. And you don't really want to raise taxes. It's hard enough on people as it is.
It's an election year for some of the towns, including Pendleton. What offices are up for Pendleton this year?
Yeah, we'll have 3 seats up this year, including myself. I'll be one of them. And then we'll also have Ward 1 and Ward 3 will be coming up for re-election this year in November.
And you've been involved in the town's politics in administration for a long time. Y'all seem to have a pretty tight-knit group that works together well. Is that fair enough statement?
Yeah, we've always had I think a good group of folks to work with, and my hat's off to anybody that'll do it, whether I agree with them or not. It's a hard job, takes a lot of your time. You got to be really dedicated to do it. Some people will get into it thinking they want to do it, and then they realize, man, this is a lot of work, this is a lot of hours, and I'm going to all these meetings. There's a lot to it, and it doesn't pay very well, so you got to want to do it. And fortunately in Pendleton, we have a lot of people that volunteer for a lot of things and jump in there and try to help. And that's what we got on town council. We got a lot of good people that are on there, and we always have had, I would say, a lot of good people on town council. And I think council over the years has been pretty good at making good decisions over the years. If you look at our track record, we've done pretty well with this town, I think. This town has remained a really viable town. A lot of small towns have really, really struggled. Financially, over the years, they've done a great job with keeping Pendleton, very solvent and having enough money, and just really done a great job with the town because we're still doing well. In fact, we're thriving right now, I would say. But you never know what's going to happen, what tomorrow brings with the economy and with a lot of things. But I think we're in a good position. We are in a fast-growing area in the county, as you know. So I feel good about our town and where we stand right now. Yeah, we have a new website, as we were saying earlier, and it's going to allow you to do things like set up an account, for your water bill if you move in, if you're somebody new, things like that. Hopefully you can get information that you need from there, be it what the ordinances are. And we're in the process right now, which I guess I should mention this. We're still working on rewriting all of our ordinances and doing what they call a UDO, which is Unified Development Ordinance. And that's going to be a good thing to try to really bring all of that stuff up to date. You know, a lot of it was written years and years ago. Some of it really just doesn't apply anymore. Things have changed a lot. We're trying to get all of that up in today's world and also put everything in one document more or less, so it's easy to figure out, you know, what it is you're trying to find in the way of information and that kind of thing too. So that's been a process. We're still working on it. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. Another thing we've been doing too is we've been developing a strategic plan. We've had an outside facilitator come in and been working with us and other stakeholders in the community and trying to get input from everybody, be it the stakeholders, people that live here, the people that are partners, to just see really what our objectives should be. And so it's a lot different approach, but it's less, I think it's great because it's less of a knee-jerk approach to things. And we're trying to go in those directions to see what our priorities are, where we need to go, what we need to do first, what we need to do second, and how we go about it. So got a lot of great people been working on those strategic plans, and some of them that don't live here that are helping us. They're just partners in the community that are helping us develop that plan.
And as all those things are completed, they'll be on this new website too for people to...
Yes, sir, that's our hope. We're hoping it'll all be on there, and it'll be where anybody can access it, and that's what we want. And we want to be as transparent as we can about everything. Our meetings, we love for people to come to our meetings. Sometimes people don't have time. But just to mention, in case people don't know, we've been doing this for several years now. It's been a while, but we live stream every meeting we have. So if you can't get there, you can watch it on YouTube. So we'd love for you to, you know, watch us when we're doing our meetings, and that way you can be aware of what's going on a little more. And also I send out a letter every month, try to, you know, to just kind of do a synopsis of what happened, what occurred in the meeting, just try to let people know. We email that out. So if you want to get that, if you contact Town Hall, if you aren't on our email list, we'll make sure you get it. And so that's another thing we do. And then I'm having a meeting, and I have for you know, quite a while now, called Ask the Mayor. I have it once a month. We love for people to come to those meetings. So, you know, even if you don't live in town, if you just live outside the community, we'd love for you to come. If you got questions about Pendleton, something you want to know, or suggestions, something you think is a real problem, we'd rather know about it. If we know about it, we might have a chance at fixing it. So there's a lot of things that go on that we don't always know are going on. And that's one thing that this does, and it's a lot less formal atmosphere than you have in a council meeting. We just sit around and talk, basically, and listen to what people have to say. So anybody out there, if you want to come talk about Pendleton once a month, Ask the Mayor,